Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. That's Commodity TV here, live from our home studio for you. Today with Vizsla Resources, and Michael Konnert, the CEO, wants to give us an insight into his company on the one hand. And of course, we want to talk about the market. Michael, welcome. And for you, good morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's, very good to meet with you virtually, but of course, we were hoping to do a road show together this week.
That's right.
That's all have to do, I think.
Absolutely. We will do that later on in June. Absolutely. No, we were just talking upfront a little bit about the markets and stuff, and you said this is a once of a lifetime chance for the precious metals. Why is that?
Well, yeah, I really believe that. And, although we have to be serious about the implications of the virus and protect our health and the health of our communities, the upside to the situation that we've all been brought into over the last few weeks is that I think it's set up a perfect opportunity, maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity to buy silver and gold equities, that seem to be getting away from us until this virus happened. So, just to point out, I think there's a significant amount of downside left in the U.S. stock market. To combat that, I think that the central banks will be spending a significant amount of money. They'll be printing a significant amount of money, and that's setting us up for a very exciting situation for small cap gold and silver. So, we look, the time to buy stocks, of course, is when there's blood in the streets. And I think that
which is definitely now.
On the U.S. stock market, I don't think it's there yet. I think there's still, it could even potentially be a 80-90% drop from the all-time highs there. So it had a record long bull market, record economic expansion, and I think the downside's still coming there. But where we see blood in the streets across all industries and sectors is specifically these small cap gold and silver equities. And we had basically just got out of this 9-year bear market, and now we've come back and retested those lows again just last week, and so I think that's a very, very significant opportunity for us. And stocks were down 84%, as measured by the GDXJ, down 84% from the bull market peak in 2020. This is looking like a double bottom retest of January 2016, but this time gold is up 18% year over year. So the underlying metals in a better place than essentially has ever been, save for the last bull market. But in this month here in March, the baby essentially was thrown out with the bathwater. People were covering margin calls, looking for liquidity anywhere they could get it, and that included equities like Vizsla, equities like the whole gamut of precious metals equities. Now, the last time that we saw stocks, stocks so cheap to the price of gold, the GDXJ to the XAU ratio, silver and gold juniors rallied 200% in the following 8 months. So this is history shows us this is a great time to enter these names.
Absolutely.
And of course, this was the result of the blow up of, in addition to liquidity, it was also the blow up of the JNUG, the JNUG ETF, a 3 times levered gold bull ETF, and that imploded, and that's created another opportunity in the market. So, what this comes down to as well. So the setup, the sell off is offering low prices. A lot of the producers are going to be making record amounts of money here because the inputs like paying employees in local currency is getting cheaper. Inputs like fuel is getting cheaper with the oil price crashing, but these companies are getting paid in U.S. dollars for selling their gold or silver, and specifically gold, in U.S. dollars. So I think that in a few after the closures of the mines is over, in the coming months, I think that they're going to start posting record profits. That's going to bring a whole new group of investors into the sector. But also, what the biggest driver for the sector, of course, is gold prices. And the biggest driver for gold prices is monetary or money printing, basically. And this morning, on Monday, the Fed just announced basically QE infinity times 2. It's going to be it's unprecedented. So, and of course, the biggest driver for silver is the gold price. So, you know, looking at a company like Vizsla, looking at a company like any of these other junior, you know, explorers, developers, producers, or the major producers, this seems to be a once in a lifetime setup. And so, although I'm very cautious in the way that we're running our business with Vizsla, you know, we have to take into account the safety of ourselves and our team and the people. But for me, this seems like a, you know, a gift or a once in a lifetime opportunity to make serious money with these equities. So, you know, I'm very excited about that.
Super. Okay, perfect. At least you are positive. I love that. We have not that many people who are positive these days. Me too. So we are two already. Let's come to your company, because that looks really interesting now, your company, I must say. I went a little bit through the presentation also, and maybe you want to give us a short overview, the Copala Panuco. What are you doing there? Yeah. What is the idea of the company?
Yeah. So Vizsla has assembled and consolidated this historic, massive district for silver and gold in Mexico for the first time ever. This is a district that's been producing for 400 years. It's had fragmented ownership, and we're the first company to actually come in and unify the whole concession package. And as such, we have an option on production. So we have a mill that we have on the property that's under option. We have.
Is that the El Coco mill
project? Sorry.
Is that the El Coco mill?
That's the El Coco mill. That's right. Yes, yes. It's a 500 ton per day mill. It's fully permitted, and you know, it's interesting. The region's been producing for 400 plus years. It's shown very high grades of silver and gold in our work and historic sampling that we've seen. But no one's actually taken the opportunity. No one's been able to have the opportunity to explore the entire district until we've come along. So. You know, we're very, very excited about the potential of this district.
Fantastic. Yeah, and I saw you have 9,500 hectares all together. And it looks to me like also you have all the infrastructure like highway, power, you have a 4-lane highway even going there. And also with the mine development, you have already 35 kilometers of underground development. So that came from small scale miners, right?
Yeah, it came from a combination of what I would consider, you know, something above artisanal mining, but not full commercial mining, but and then some small scale mining as well too over the last 4 or 5 decades when they really got kind of serious on the property. But you know, there's anything from small adits to real adits that you could work as a modern company. But that 35 kilometers of underground workings gives us a unique perspective of how these veins behave. Of course, it's an epithermal vein deposit in Mexico. It's, you know, a very common style deposit down there. But being able to go underground, map and sample these veins has given us a very good understanding of how these veins work. So that's almost like free exploration for us.
Fantastic. So that means you have full access on that. Yeah, you can really use that, as you just said. For you, it's then easier to also understand the veins. I think that saves a lot of money and also time for sure. And if I look at your exploration results, I mean, 0.5 meter of 4,244 grams of silver equivalent. That is outstanding. That's crazy. I mean, you know, and all the others are like between 700 grams, 1 kilogram, 1.2, 3 kilograms. What is the reason that you have such super high grade values?
Well, it's the high grades are certainly what brought us there. When we saw this property, it took about a year to actually get this all together, and it was a very difficult process to put this all together. But we were incentivized by these high grades, and so you know, the reason for that is in these epithermal systems. And I'll back up a little bit too. We have over 75 kilometers of total vein extent there, which is huge. But only parts of those veins really have these high grades, and that's where you have intersections between other veins into the main vein, or kinks or swells in it. And where you see these kinks and swells or intersections, you tend to see some very high grades of silver and gold. And so that's what we're targeting right now with our drill program. But you know, these high grades are really quite special here.
Fantastic. Before we come to your further, let's say, exploration plans and what the game plan is for 2020, can you please explain to us what the terms of the options are, let's say, for the turnkey production, as you wrote in your presentation? How does it work? From whom does it come? What do you have to pay? And what are the next milestones you have to fulfill to get finally, let's say, by, I don't know, end of next year, maybe 2022, then a real production going on?
So, in order to put your foot on a district like this in Mexico that compares to all the great districts in Mexico, with all the infrastructure, with the mill, with the permits, that's not necessarily a cheap purchase price. So what we're doing is buying this mill, buying this whole district over 6 years, essentially, for $42 million. However, we negotiated a 2-year period at the beginning of the option where we paid just $1 million. And that allows us to explore and basically do due diligence before we purchase the producing assets and the entire concession package, including all the infrastructure and permits. But the way that it's broken
down, so the permits are still valid then. That's important, I would say.
Exactly, yeah. So it cuts back on potentially 2 or 3 years of permitting and construction. We truly do have a shortcut to being a producer in Mexico. Not dissimilar to companies like Endeavor, First Majestic, or things like that you see in Mexico. But the way that we've done it is two major families own the district there, and we've cut a deal with each of them. And it's, as I said, the $42 million in total over the 6 years to purchase it.
Okay, fantastic. So it's like a fixed time frame. We can say from here now, maybe another 1.5 years. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we're about 6 months or so into the initial option, and of course we're drilling. And the goal, basically, how this relates to the option and the business plan, is that we want to drill a resource that allows us to basically model the first few years of production, and use that to buy out the mill and then go into production. You can pay that back, or if we're quite successful with the exploration, we can purchase that out and explore on our own time frame. But the point is that we have a massive district in Mexico, 75 kilometers of veins, the mill, the permits, and we put our foot on this now, and we're excited to see where this takes us, especially as, if you believe silver and gold is going to go up. I think we have a very, very exciting way to be involved in that. So.
Yeah, definitely. No, as you know me, I'm a big silver gold bull. That is for sure. That's why I think you do the absolutely right thing, that you want to go fast in production. I think that's really important. If you said you have to drill a resource, so how much will that cost probably, and how much time would that take, and would then that lead into, let's say, a feasibility study? Do you need even a feasibility study as you have everything, let's say, already in place? Or how is the concept?
Yeah, so our plan essentially is to work towards building a larger resource, but initially what we'd like to do is build a smaller. Our cutoff is a relatively small resource that will allow us to kind of model that first few years of income, and that jump quickly into production. So what we've done is we've budgeted about a $10 million. We're into the first phase of our discovery drilling. So we raised $6 million in last fall, and what that allows us to do essentially is do discovery drilling. So we have 20 targets on the property. We've drilled 2 of those so far, and we continue to drill these high-grade ore shoots and veins, with the goal of ranking and prioritizing these ore shoots so that we can come and follow up with resource drilling on that. So we think maybe 1 or 2 of these ore shoots could give us 10, 20, 30 million tons of a resource at various grades. But our goal is to find something that has higher grades, so that, of course, that payback when you purchase the mill and run it through the mill is quite rapid.
Fantastic.
So the timeline for that is about probably, looking to finish up on drilling in, I would say probably perhaps a year from now, and then looking at maybe probably not having to do engineering studies, but if that is necessary, we'll do them. We have a very strong connection to Ausenco Engineering, which is one of the
very good company
engineering firms. Yeah.
Fantastic. Also, you said that you have a lot of exploration potential. How would you define that? I mean, you're now exploring, like, let's say, around the cocoa mill, all those would say known areas already. But where is the exploration potential then? Like the Colorado deposit, Animas vein, Copala mine, etc. Is that then the game plan? Let's say within the next 3 to 5 years, when the first production is up and running, or do you also start already sniffing around there?
Well, those names that you mentioned are on our 20 prospect list that we are drilling. So we've actually, in the first few months, so we really just started in fall of last year and started drilling in January. We've already made several discoveries there. And we actually followed up with drilling on the Paloma vein and announced that drilling recently. It was a brand new vein. We tracked it for 500 meters, drilled it at depth, and we had kilo numbers on it. It's a very exciting new discovery. We didn't expect it was going to be that quick.
Yeah.
And we drilled it, and we drilled high grades on it over mineable widths. So that kind of gives you an idea of the prospectivity of the area. But now we've actually moved the drill on to the Honduras vein, which is a kind of a new discovery as well too. It wasn't on any of our maps. There'd been some old workings on it, but we didn't really know about it. And we're drilling there, and we're expecting some very good grades there. So we're actually quite rapidly testing these targets. And once we do find, once we kind of rank and prioritize the ones that we're going to follow up with resource drilling, we can do that quite rapidly as well too. But the Colorado, the Corona de Oro, a number of these other areas will get drill tested.
Super, fantastic. If you would compare, let's say, by scale, your, let's call it vein field, if you like, let's say to other Mexican vein fields, how do you feel like? Because I found a slide here, and I have the feeling that like Panuco looks really outstanding compared to the other guys.
No, it really is, and that's what drew us to this. So when we saw the fact that, so this had basically just been tied up in various different families for so long. Other groups tried to buy it, but it just took timing and determination. But we really believe that we have this like a world-class Mexican silver field here, and it does compare very favorably to the San Dimas mine, which is First Majestic's primary mine. That's 80 kilometers away. Zacatecas, the whole district there, compares to even Las Chispas. It's far larger than Las Chispas, but all of the great silver fields in Mexico kind of have a similar history too, where they've been fragmented ownership. Lots of mining history hundreds of years ago, but it really kind of took that opportunity to put it all together, explore it as one unified package, and that's when it kind of hit that inflection point and went into production. So that's what we're expecting here. I'm quite confident in the potential here.
Yeah, Michael, let's have a short view on the company snapshot of Vizsla, because you have 58 million shares basically outstanding and 74.5 million shares fully diluted. And also what I see here, what I really like is management, directors, advisors, 24%, and institutions have 40% in high net worth. Maybe you can comment a bit on that also, because I think that's important for the future of financing, let's say, availability for the company also, because if you have a strong shareholder ship, that always helps a lot, right? If they are supporting you.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're lucky to have that significant ownership by management and insiders. So myself, I own 2 million plus shares. Craig, our chairman, owns much more than me. But we have a very good ownership structure and a couple of funds involved that are supporters of the company. And I think we're just about to hit the institutional level, and I think we have had a lot of interest in that. Of course, we just raised some money at the end of last year, so we're well financed now. But I think this is a type of story and company that a lot of institutions are quite interested in. So I'm very proud of our capital structure. So
fantastic. No, it looks all really healthy, and it's I think it's a very compelling story, and I wish you all the best for that. By now, the most important thing now is stay healthy, you and your family. That is very important, because we want to welcome you then in June here in Europe, and especially also in Switzerland and Germany, and to show you around. And thank you very much for your time for the interview, and all the best.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck, and look forward to coming in person soon.
Perfect. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Commodity TV for you with Michael Konnert, the CEO of Vizsla Resources. And you heard it. You get the company for a real discount now because also the share price was, crashed down like everybody else. But the company is still the same as it was like 8 weeks ago. And the company is getting better and better, as you just heard from Michael. And I think it's a great opportunity to have a look on Vizsla Resources. That will be one of the next silver and also gold producers in Mexico. And I think they have a very, very good game plan and a very, very strong shareholdership, which is really needed for the future here. And yeah, the drills are turning. There will be a lot of news in the next months, hopefully then. And we keep you updated. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.